1 second. I ran. There's a delay on YouTube, okay? Somehow that works out in my favor, right? Welcome back to the Build Show, guys. Bazooka Builder, Bulldozers, I'm sorry, Builder. I almost called you Bazooka Builder. That'd be a pretty good name for somebody who does custom builds. Bazooka Builder. Hey, Tap. Welcome back to the Build Show. Bazooka, welcome back. Chat nerds, welcome back to the Build Show, sir. Why is it starting so late today? Well, I had a couple of support calls, and I had to take my girls to the store, and then I had to eat dinner. And then next thing you know, it was like 10 o'clock when I was working on the thumbnail. So I was like, okay, well, late stream. It's an inventory build anyway, so it's not for somebody specific. So it's just for your enjoyment. Hey, Panda. Good morning, guys. I'm back here from Greece for another day over there on the Twitch. So many people call me Bazooka Builder. Well, that's what when I first read it, that's just what my mind translates to. I don't know why. It's just Bazooka Bulldozers. Bazooka Bulldozers. I gotta say that. I need a nice bath. Is it that noticeable? Build of the year. This is not build of the year. What will you use this PC for? This PC is going to go on the website under the inventory builds or ready to build, ready to ship section. So you'll be able to purchase it from the website. That is what we're going to build tonight. Inventory. These typically sell pretty quick. Anything that I usually have readily available lasts less than a week, or within a couple of days it goes. So this is what I mean by I'm sitting on a bunch of parts. This is one. I've got a 4080 build that I'm sitting on right now too, and 3 others, plus this one, plus the other build that we did for the B580. I'm sitting on that. How much costs the MSI Mag B550 Tomahawk? I think this was about $150 US for this board. About 150 new. Start opening boxes. I ain't got all night. 2 guys, 1 garage. All right, guys, we could go ahead and jump into it. I mean, it's an inventory build. It's pretty relaxed. It's a lot more relaxed because it's an inventory build. So what do you think the build of the year this will be? I don't know. I don't know. I really liked the AMD AIM-4 cost, especially like the 5800X3D and the 5700X3D. So if we can get an X3D chip in the build of the year, that would be ideal. Kind of want to keep that theme going. Of course, AIM-4 is probably going to phase out for the build of the year this year. Hey, Mike Thompson. Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. 2 guys, 1 garage. Again, welcome back. Vixen Tech, are you a business? Well, that's my business. No, yes, I am a business. I'm Empower Gaming Computers located in Lake Orion, Michigan. Just a small builder, family-owned business. We enjoy building PCs, and we do it live. What are you? Vixen Tech, are you just a YouTube channel? What do you do? And welcome to the Build Show. All right, let's get started. So, 2 guys in 1 garage doesn't lose his mind. Wouldn't want that to happen. Actually, we didn't even run through the parts. What am I doing? We haven't even ran through the parts yet. All right, there's no inventory. I mean, there's no like invoice, so I don't have like a list of parts. This was just kind of like, I have this part, this part, this part. Let's just throw this build together and do an inventory build. So, all right, Ryzen 7 5700X 3D for the CPU with the 3D V cache. It's going to be a great system on a B550 Tomahawk Max Wi-Fi. Great motherboard, has all the features that you'll need. We have a 2TB M.2 NVMe Gen 4 SSD and 32 gigs of DDR4 3200, which is Ripjaws by G.Skill. We're going to be cooling the CPU with a Grand Vision by Thermalright. It's a 360mm AIO with a screen built into it. Thermalright has its own software. It's kind of, not the greatest, but it works. So it does take a little bit of a learning curve to learn it. I have had one person report an issue with a screen. It was actually the gold build that we did earlier this year. He's having issues with the screen, so I'm going to order another screen and replace the screen, not the whole unit. Small business PC nerds unite. Yes, I will send you an email if you guys consider any affiliate sponsors. Yes, I do tech, and we'll start reviewing PCs, monitors. I do affiliate sponsors, but the way the affiliate sponsors work is probably way different than what you're thinking. I will not send out a free PC to somebody. That is not what I do. It's kind of a earn as you earn kind of program. But if you go to the website, which is empowergamingpcs.com, and select the affiliate or sponsor link at the top, I can't remember if it's I think it's just affiliate program. If you click that, it'll kind of explain the program. And if you want a more in-depth, I guess, explanation of the program or more details, I could just schedule a call with you and we could walk through it. So I could kind of show you what it does. It's more so designed for streamers that are already streaming and just looking to get a streamer code and start earning. You know, AM4 forever. I don't know. I don't think AM4 is going to last forever, but I mean, this is going to be a solid rig. I'd say probably 2 more years and AM4 will start getting really phased out. 2 or 3 years. I will go check it out right now. Awesome. Yeah, there's a form that you can fill out there if you're interested that you could submit from. The like button's free, guys. Kind of like your mom on Friday nights. Jesus. Thanks, 2 Guys 1 Garage. I appreciate the encouragement. All right, so we're going to be cooling it with the Grand Vision. Again, questioning these screens, but we're going to keep building with them so we get more experience around them just to see how they do. So, we have an RTX 3070 over here in the corner. This is by Zotac Gaming. This is a refurbished card, actually, that we're going to be using in the build. Every now and then, Zotac drops some really good deals on their refurbished section. There are warranties with these cards still, which is why I would still buy them because of the warranty that still backs them. And then we have a 750 watt 80 plus gold power supply, which does have the ATX 3.1 and PCIe 5.0 compatibility, which is that 450 watt cable, not 450 watt. We won't need that for this build, but it future-proofs the system. We have a couple of bottom fans for the case that we're building in. Cat Tutuna smelled the Montech case from where he was before we even started the stream, and he is very right. It is a Montech case. So we are going to be building in the Montech XR in black, and with that black, we are going to keep the theme with some black sleeved cables here, extensions, if we need them. Kind of up in the air, because these are just black cables as it is, and I don't know. Maybe we don't need the black sleeved cables to replace the black cables. Yeah, thanks, Bazooka. What specs? Ant-Man, I was just walking through the specs. It's a Ryzen 7 5700X 3D, a B550 Tomahawk Max motherboard, RTX 3070, a 2TB M.2 NVMe Gen 4 SSD, and a 32 gig kit of RAM, along with a Grand Vision Thermalright 360mm AIO, 750 watt 80 plus gold a couple of fans for the bottom that are reversed, and it's all going in an XR case. Oh, is that the 37 chameleon? Yes, basically it is. This all lights up though, so it'll have RGB on it. Pretty cool looking card when it's lit up. Also on the back side here, these light up where the power kind of plugs into, so it looks like power's going into the card. It's kind of a cool design by Zotac. I really liked it when they first released these. I order MSI Mag B650 Tomahawk Wi-Fi for my new system. That's an excellent board. It's an excellent board. Nice. Yes. So, in honors of Two Guys One Garage, who's not got all night, we're gonna go ahead and get started with this build and get it going here. Move some of these components out of my way so we can get started. There's the close-up of the B550, sorry, B450, B550, B650, B850, B350. I don't know what one it is anymore. There's our Ryzen 7 5700X 3D. That's going to be going into the sockets. And then our 32 gigs DDR4 3200 by G.Skill Ripjaws. What do you think about buying refurbished GPUs? I think it's okay, as long as you buy it from a reputable reseller. Yeah, that's slick. I made it in time! What's up, Steve? Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. Oh, I know. I was just staying with the 50s. I didn't even want to start with the X470, X570, X670, X870. What's up again? What's up, JMO? Welcome back to the Build Show. I can say that now, right? Next up is our 2 terabyte M.2 NVMe Gen 4 SSD, which is a Inland TN450. It's about a 5,000 megabytes read-write speed on the drive. More than enough for somebody who's just gonna game. That's kind of what this system's more so geared for, is gaming. With the 5700X 3D, the 32 gigs of RAM, and the 2 terabytes of storage makes it, a really nice system to really enjoy a plethora of different games. You know, have a large Steam library. So my nose didn't deceive me. I knew I smelled Montech. Yes, you are right. Hey Thomas, what's up? Welcome to the Build Show. If I find a GPU card in Micro Center or Best Buy or other computer shops in USA, can they send it to Greece or not? I don't know. That's gonna be based on their policies. I'm not sure on that. I matched the 7800 XT with the R5 4500. Ryzen 5 4500 and played Indiana Jones 4K 60 FPS last night. No, that's pretty good. How many times a week do you go to Micro Center? Too many times. Although this week, you know, I'm just trying not to go because every time I go, I spend, you know, tons of money. But every week, you know, this week I haven't gone. But usually it's 1 to 2 times a week. Okay, next up we want to get the brackets out for the cooler. They built him a cot in the back room. Oh yeah. Definitely a cot in the back room. So he can nap before he goes back home. Now usually I just do that in the car in the parking lot. And then the manager, when they're closing up, comes and knocks on the window. Hey Ben, it's time to go home. That's usually what happens. What's the total budget? I didn't hear earlier enough to actually, I don't know. This is an inventory build. I have not priced everything out yet. I have all the prices on a sheet for the build, but I don't have a total. But it's an RTX 3070, so like 300-ish. And then the 5700 XT from Micro Center, which was like 189 bucks. The motherboard was 150. The RAM was like $49. The SSD was like 100 bucks, $110 or something like that. So if we want to do all the math, we could. Power supply was stupid expensive for a 750 watt. It was like 90 bucks. Cooler was a 120, 112 or something like that. A little bit more expensive for the grand, the fancy screen with the Thermalright. Thought I'd try it out. You know, Indiana Jones is such a good game. I would never even care if I die in the game. Just start over. Yeah, I haven't played it yet. Don't ruin it for me. Don't ruin it for me. Hey, Robert Fixit. Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. Taco Tuesday has begun, except for everybody probably has already eaten their tacos since it's so late in the evening. All right, let's get that mounting hardware for the cooler out and get that stuff sorted out so we can move on to getting the case out and getting this in the case and the cooler mounted and fans installed and all that good stuff. We have a laundry list of crap to do on this build. But again, The Thermalright Grand Vision in black. Some fancy looking screen and stuff on it. Super fancy packaging, kind of taking after, trying to take after Asus, it looks like. They even have more labels on the package like accessories. The packaging is definitely superior to anything that they've ever shipped. Low temperature, high performance is what they claim on the box here. They're claiming low temperature, high performance. Hey, Dennis. You may have to replace the CyberPower PSU. Hey, Trill. Trill to dope. Bought a pre-built from CyberPower and my CPU is a Ryzen 7 7700. GPU is Radeon RX 7600. Will I have to replace the GPU first, and is it mid? The 7700 is a decent CPU, so to increase more performance, the graphics card would be ideal, because the RX 7600 is probably, it's a good 1080p card to start with, but once you start looking for more FPS, that's definitely going to be the graphics card. But yes, your power supply might be limiting what graphics card you can get, so you might also have to replace the power supply as well as the graphics card, so keep that in mind when you go to upgrade. You've used sour cream for thermal paste before. Chipotle has huge burritos. Yes, they do. And they could do it in a bowl, so you could just skip the whole mess and just eat like a human, you know, in 2024 with a spoon or a fork or a spork. Not really, don't replace it yet. Yeah, you don't have to replace it. It's a great card to start with, and you'll enjoy 1080p performance out of that card. But if you, get to the point where you're like, I want more FPS, it's going to be the graphics card that you're going to want to replace for sure, or upgrade. There's a big debate with YouTube tech channels. Some say you should not waste your time on AM4. Others say it's still a great platform, and I agree it's a great platform. I still agree it's a great platform. I still support it. and I'll support it until AMD says I can't support it anymore, because it's a great budget-friendly platform to use that will perform today. So why not use it? It's kind of dumb not to. I guess the only time it's bad to use is when you want to, you know, more future-proof, you know, 5 years down the road or 4 years down the road. Your boy Ram! Tech channels forgot people can't drop 2K out of PC. AM4 is still a good 100%. Oh yeah. Yeah, you gotta keep in mind, this is the real world that builders build for. We build for real people in the real world that have to pay real bills. So the more budget friendly it is, the better. And AM4 can definitely keep up with today's stuff. So 5800X3D is great. Yeah, it's probably the greatest AM4 processor there is. It's just the 5800X3D is hard to find brand new anyway. Hard to find brand new. You can definitely find it on the used market, but or on AliExpress. But I don't really trust some of those AliExpress things and other places like that. There's some marketplace sellers on them that are questionable, so be careful if you are out there looking around. My AM4 platform will antique someday. I think it's going to be a while before it hits an antique shelf. I mean, think about it. Just within the last like year or two, even as terrible as it sounds for me to bring this up, but AM3 was still able to play Call of Duty like a year ago. So your FX 6300 CPU or your FX 8083 or 8150 or 8350 or whatever they are, the 8-core processors, I'm sorry, I have to add quotations there, 4-core processor with 8 threads, they were able to run, you know, Call of Duty and things just a year ago, and they probably still do today. It's just very limited with today's graphics cards, causing a huge bottleneck because you need the bigger, better graphics card to run Call of Duty these days a little bit better. I recommend like an RX 580 at least to run Call of Duty today. That's like the minimum card. You could probably run it on less, but it's questionable. You get below 60. I'm year 1 into my AM4 custom PC, and I will use it till it became obsolete. I'm still on AM4, guys. I'm still running AM4. Tell you the truth, would go 5900X if it has 70 meg of L3 cache plus 12 cores, 2430. Yeah, that would be good. It's a good process. 5800 is king of budget. Yes, that is like the king. Now, the new budget card kind of, you know, that recently has been dropping in price is the 1080. The GTX 1080. Those are just all of a sudden available everywhere, and you can get them for around $100 or less. Those are super budget friendly cards. And the RX 580 is also a great, the GTX 1070 is also another nice budget card that you can find pretty much everywhere on every market. So both of those cards have 8 gigs of VRAM and they're great. All 3 of those cards. 5700 XT is another great one. Yep. Those are around 100, 120 bucks that you can find. That's actually a really good card because you can get some 1440p performance out of it as well. It is so hard to understand how good all these different components are for me. Now it's just years of experience here. Hey Alex, why are you ignoring how delicious Chipotle is? I don't know. I commented on Chipotle's comment above, Alex. But welcome back to the Build Show, sir. It's been a while. All right, we're going to go ahead and move the board out of the way here. We're going to zoom out and get the case out. No looking at my toes. Chipotle is kind of overrated. Not gonna lie. Oh boy, you're gonna start a fight in the chat. I'm not getting involved in that. This is all you guys. I like Chipotle. That's all you need to know. Right. I forgot. This was an open box. So I picked up this case for... I picked up this XR case from Micro Center. It was an open box for $41. The problem is it doesn't come with screws and it comes with a lot of fingerprints. So there's no hardware included. Oh, and somebody else left a CPU fan cover for an AM4 CPU in here as well. In the box. Interesting. So, it also looks like we got some hair included with it, so we'll have to blow this out. $40 for this case is a pretty good deal. Well, that's what I do for my deal hunting. I hunt for deals. I'm gonna pull all these cables back through their respected locations so that we have them in the back. This guy looked like he struggled with trying to figure out what to do here. So we're trying to build in this. Flora, welcome to the build show. Trying to find a PC with a budget of $2,800, how would you recommend to start? Well, I'd ask the first question, which is, what do you plan on using your PC for? And then we go from there. I'd rather a food truck, Mex food over Chipotle. Yeah, but you got to be careful with some of those food trucks. I mean, I use any gold plus rated power supply as long as the wattage is higher than what I have now. Basically asking if I get it at 1,000 watt, will my board regulate its own voltage? Yes. So the wattage is not going to change or damage anything on the board. That's just how much power the power supply can be pulled from. So let's say you have a graphics card that requires 450 watts and your CPU requires 100 watts. That means you need at least a 550 watts of power from your power supply. But that doesn't include, you know, your addressable RGB fans and some other things that might need to be calculated, like the motherboard power, etc. And if you have any drives plugged in, that's going to be requiring additional power, so you can add plus another 100 watts, so 650 watts for something like that. But you also always want to leave a little bit of wiggle room over the top of the power supply. You don't want, let's say it's a 650 watt power supply and you calculate you need 650 watts, you want at least a 750 watt power supply, not a 650. So 1,000 watt power supply would be a little bit overkill, unless you're going for like a 4080 RTX 4080 or an RTX 5080 or you know, one of the higher end cards, if that's what you're upgrading to. Which, if you're going to that big of a card, then you start questioning other things like, is my case big enough? So is the case that you have from iBuyPower or CyberPower, can't remember which one it was, is that big enough to support the size of the card? And over on Twitch, I use for 6 years AMD FX 6200 with Gigabyte 970A DS3P FX socket. Yes. And 3D Club GTX 550 Ti. That was a good card back then. 1.5 gigabytes TDR3, GDDR3, and I played retro arcade games online without any problems. So yeah, that was a solid build back then. The GTX 550 Ti, I owned the 450, and I owned that through that series, and then upgraded eventually to a 7600, I think, when I made the leap. I deserve more subs than I have. Your time is coming. Thank you. Well, we'll see. Bring it on. Tell everybody to come over and ask some questions. But yes, if you get a 1,000 watt power supply and plug it in, it's not going to hurt your system. That just means you could put a bigger card in your system and support it. So come back when you're, ready, or join the Discord channel and drop a chat when you're ready to upgrade your graphics card, and we can make sure you get the right stuff. Tons of people in this community that all have knowledge as well. So if I'm not available for some reason, or if I get hit by a bus, you guys can still figure it out. Hopefully I don't get hit by a bus, that would hurt. Okay, so now that we've got our cable sorted out in our open box special, I am going to have to sort out some screws here because I don't have those. Lacking the screws for the build. Because it was open box and they didn't return them apparently. Black ones, silver ones here. Move out of my way. You know, when I'm digging around stuff here at the shop, there's like 1,000 different places these screws are sitting, and then I open the one place that it should be, and they're not in there. So, hold on. Really don't want to use silver. I might just use the silver to get through it. Come back. Yeah, they're just buried in there. Okay, I got screws. Montech screws too. If it was an open box, we can't assume the studs are all in the right place. Have to double check. They are. But anytime you open box or buy anything used, you always have to double check that stuff. Venomous Toad, you're late. You're not that late. I started late. Will do. I only have a 1080p monitor currently. But as most people probably... Yeah, with the 7600, you're fine with that 1080p monitor. You're not missing out on anything. The RX 7600 is more of a 1080p card anyway. So, if you go to like a 1440p panel, it may not perform very well for you, depending on what games you play. Some people will pair a $500 yeah, with a $250 GPU. I know, I've seen that all the time. I see that all the time. Unfortunately. Usually I ask them, so when are you planning to upgrade your GPU? Is that next? Mostly I love playing games, Valo, Fort, LOL. With my friends. I bought a super budget PC during COVID, and it's been good for me until this year. I'm not tech savvy person, but I love how cool PCs can look. Well, if you are interested in having one built, or if you're trying to build one yourself, let me know. But if you want to have one built, we can build it here live on the channel for you. But those games, let me go back to that list. I love Fortnite, LOL. I mean, to be honest with you, 2800 is kind of a overkill budget for those titles for Valorant, Fortnite, and League of Legends. It's kind of overkill. I'm not gonna lie. So you could probably do this exact build that I'm doing right now and have a really good 1440p experience in all of those titles which is a Ryzen 7 5700X 3D on a B550 with 32 gigs of DDR4 3200 RAM and a 2 terabyte M.2 SSD. You can do any liquid cooler, you don't have to do the one I'm using right here. And you could also get any ATX case at that point. You could customize that if you wanted to. This is probably going to be around a $1,300, $1,400 build in total. I mean, that's way cheaper than 2,800, which is, unless that's a different currency than US dollars. I'm using a Lenovo monitor, and in the top corners, the film is not fully on, but it's not noticeable unless it's close. Yeah, unless you're close up. It's not a G-Sync, but have experienced screen tearing yet. Have not experienced screen. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I mean, for the longest time, I used Office monitors too. Back when I was gaming Call of Duty 1, just an Office monitor is all I was using. Like, that's what I started out with. No shame in running those. Okay, now that we've got those in, I'm going to go ahead and throw our EPS cable on there, which is the power cable for the CPU in the top left corner. Then I'll make sure we got power to the CPU, and also make sure that's out of the way so I don't have to deal with it when I go put the cooler in. We may as well do the 24 pin as well since we're here. Okay, thanks for the heads up. Truly, I appreciate the honesty. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you don't need a $2,800 PC to run those. You could definitely run it with like a $1,300, $1,400, and that's kind of overkill as it is, to be honest. But I mean, if you're looking for 1440p experience, then, you know, something like this. Or you could even go to the AM5 level if you wanted to better future-proof it. Go to AM5, like a 7800X 3D, and then that's overkill, and you won't need to upgrade your PC for years. The games that you're playing. Be back. I'm taking the dog out. Yeah, no problem, man. Dogs gotta go, and the dogs gotta go. Alright, EPS cable going in. Get one more in here. The 24-pin big boy. We got three cable combs to add to this one, which is going to take a couple extra minutes. Apologies. Currently upgrading my potato with sour cream, butter, and bacon bits. Well, I don't know if you're going to get extra FPS out of the sour cream, but definitely the butter and the bacon bits will help your frames per second. Alright, there we go. We got all three of our cable combs on the cable. Gonna poke that sucker through. so, and then plug her in. Doesn't that just look fancy? Is there a website to go to in order to find a list of GPUs and what they specialize in? Not really, but you can go to, I mean, not really. I mean, most RTX cards are going to be for gaming. Most RX AMD cards are going to be for gaming. And then anything that says workstation or outside of the RTX family or outside of the RX family are probably workstation cards. So stay within the RTX family for NVIDIA and the RX AMD family for gaming. How do you feel on the 5000 series cards about to drop here in 2 days? 5000 series. I've got mixed feelings on them. This entire, and welcome to the build show, Byron. This entire, I think, release has been blah. That's just me. Really, that's my feeling. My opinion is blah. I feel like every other release is better than, you know, the 2 releases prior. So they came out with let's start with the 10 series. They came out with the 10 series, and that was absolutely amazing. Then they released the 2000 series, and it was like, meh. Like, it was okay, but it wasn't anything like to jump out of your chair for. And then the 3000 series came along, and then everybody jumped out of their chair. And you couldn't find a 3000 series card anywhere. Everything was just sold out everywhere. It's gone. Everything's off the shelves, gone. Then the 4000 series came around, and that was actually a pretty big leap too. And it was kind of like, okay, but not as exciting as the 3000 series or the 10 series. And now the 5000 series is coming out, and again, I question quite a few things that NVIDIA said in their keynote. I think they did their little marketing thing where they find something that works in their favor so they can market it the way they want to. You had the 5070, for example, being the same performance as a 4090 at a 5070 cost. I think that's bullshit. I don't think the 5070 is going to perform anywhere near a 4090. Just based on the specs of the paper, if you compare the two, it's just impossible. The only way it's going to do that is with fake frames, which is DLSS 4.0. So you're not going to... But it's not true raw power, it's fake. So it's like adding fake sugar to a soda, in my opinion. That's how I feel about it. So is it bad? No, it's not bad. It's going to be an upgrade. It's going to be more performance. That is the direction that we kind of have to start going towards, because we're hitting the plateau of how much power we could send through these cards at an effective cost price. So yes, that is the right direction that they need to go, and they need to improve the technology, but they should not be marketing the RTX 5070 as the same performance as a 4090 at an RTX 5070 cost, or 4070 cost. It's a lie. It's not. They should put in quotes with DLSS 4.0 turned on, is my point. I'm a streamer as well, and I run a laptop, but streaming and gaming lag sometimes. Yeah, are you running both the laptop for the stream and the games? Because if that's the case, your laptop's probably just overheating and it's thermal throttling, and that's probably why it starts lagging during the stream. Hey, Tony Montana, welcome back to the Build Show, sir. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good. How about you, man? Byron, I feel the same on these releases as well. My current card is the EVGA 3090 Ti. Has been solid, so tempted to stay on it. Unless my buddy nails a 5090, then I will grab the 4090 and call it a day. I mean, yeah, the difference between the 4090 and a 3090 Ti is pretty noticeable. Hey, Ash. Ayush. Hey, man, I've been having a hard time picking up a PSU for my build. Any guidance? Like picking? Oh, picking, not picking up. I was going to say picking up. Yes, there's a little bit of a shortage on power supplies lately, if you haven't noticed. Seasonic and Corsair, those are good choices. Yes, I agree with Byron. What do you have for your CPU and your GPU, Ayush? I got a question for you. I got my RTX or RX 7800 XT be bottleneck by an i5 13600K because I just did order the. No, it's fine. It won't be bottlenecking. It should run fine. How big of a difference is the ATX 3.0, 3.1, or is it just a cable? There's really. That's another thing in this industry that I don't understand is, they shouldn't even bother calling it 3.1. It's like the same freaking thing. There's barely a difference. So you could go, you know, there's a couple of guys that go into really technical details on what the difference is, and I tried watching the video and I was like, huh? So go watch the video and go, huh? For me too, because that's basically what I did. I was scratching my head after the video, trying to understand it as well. When I get a better understanding of it, I'll update my opinion on that. But I don't think there's a huge difference between 3.0 and 3.1. I think it's just stupid marketing again, in my opinion. Put something new on the box to make it look new. Who was it? The sender response. I have a Ryzen 5 5600 and a RX 7600. What power supply do I use? I got $100 left. Well, good news. If that's US dollars, you could definitely run a 650 watt power supply very comfortably with that setup. So 650 watt, 80 plus gold, and it would be, if it's US dollars, probably under $80 on Amazon. Sedgetep's a good brand that I would recommend. They're just harder to get right now because they're kind of budget friendly power supplies that are pretty good. And then MSI makes a pretty good 650 watt plus gold. Thermaltake makes a pretty good 650 watt 80 plus gold, and then of course Seasonic, but that's going to be the premium, more expensive. Yes, my laptop is on a stand with a cooler under it. It works well, and recently streams have been laggy. Well, over time, Vixen Tech, over time your CPU thermal paste will harden, and the efficiency for transferring the heat off the CPU and onto the copper heat pipes in your laptop, the efficiency is going to go down over time. Especially if it's over a year in a laptop, it's definitely time to pop that sucker open and drop some new thermal paste on there, and that'll probably help with the lag, because it's probably thermal throttling. You could download HW Monitor and pull that up while you're streaming and see what the temps are when you start seeing lag. And if the temps are pretty high, you know, 80s, upper 80s, then you're probably thermal throttling. You can also pull up the task manager and look at what your CPU is performing at and see if that's throttling. Throttling is where the CPU clocks down to cool itself off so it doesn't damage itself. And same thing with the GPU. If it's a discrete GPU in the laptop, it could be a separate chip. But most likely it's throttling. And what kind of compatibility do I have to check for the PSU? Any ATX 650 watt power supply will work with both of those components. 650 watt ATX 80 plus gold. That's all you need to know. Then all the connections will be there for your components. Assuming you're building in an ATX or micro ATX case that will support an ATX power supply. If you're building in an ITX case, it might be an SFX power supply. So be mindful of your case that you're building in. You just tried the 1000 watt power supply from Sama? Yeah, that one I've never actually ran that one, I don't think. The Gigabyte RX 7800 XT on a good price. $400, that's a pretty good deal. It's a pretty good deal. Is there a video out there? It has been a year since I bought it. I don't personally have a video, but I have lots of videos of me putting thermal paste on desktops. Just not a laptop, but I'm sure there's videos out there specific for your laptop model on how to replace the thermal paste. Well, thank you for the sub, sir. Appreciate you. You as well, Byron. Karen, thanks for the like. Over there on Facebook. Okay. Gentlemen, we have to continue this build. All right. So I'm going to continue the build and try to keep up with the chat as much as I can. Three. Then we're going to install some two fans here. And guess what? After I did buy it for 400, what happened? It did go up to 789 G's. It's kind of a ridiculous price for a 7800 XT. Definitely got a good price on that. I wonder if Best Buy would do it at any point. Yeah, I think they would do it. I could also do it here if you wanted me to. But of course, I'm not local, so you'd have to ship it to me. Assuming you're not in Michigan. Did you sew my build on channel? I did. What? Can you repeat that, Tony? Save $300. Oh yeah. Most people look at a computer and they say, what CPU does it have, or what GPU does it have? They should be asking, what power supply does it have? They should be wondering what power supply it has. Yeah, it helps a lot for the power supply performance or quality. Anyway, always important. Where's Mr. Stumpy? Uh-oh. Here it is. These are really useful for this situation when you got fans down here and you don't want a full-size screwdriver in there. Get some of those bottom fans installed, yeah. These are reverse blades, so it's intake. Just what we needed. Well, I think we're ready to put the radiator in. Go ahead and tackle that. Feel better and enjoy your youth at school. Man, I wish I was young again. Pushing 50 sucks. Pushing 40 sucks. Definitely enjoy your youth. That is any advice some old person would tell you. Can I send you my link? Yeah. Yeah, you could send my link. I don't know if it'll let you send it here, but you could definitely send it in the Discord. If you're on the Discord server. If you're not on the Discord server, I could drop you a link for that. And for anybody else that wanted to join. Gotcha. Yeah, if you're local, I'd definitely do it for you. Oops. Usually I try to get all these plugged in before I put this cooler in so it's less of a pain in the ass. But here we are trying to do that. To the fact. Let me tell you. Hating myself right now. Oh my goodness. I got it, finally. Sorry. No, I refuse to take the radiator off. That's just madness. I always forget how low of a ceiling this case has. You know? The ceiling's pretty low. Why is this so stupid? Like, as simple as it should be, it's so stupid. Okay, sorry about the dull moments here. I remember one time my brother was upgrading his RAM and sent the old RAM back, got a refund. Nice. Shouldn't do that. Yeah, I think AliExpress does warranty them, but it also comes down to the marketplace seller that you're buying from. So you're not buying from like AliExpress. Most of the time you're buying from a marketplace seller on AliExpress. Are you kidding me? My patience with this cooler is wearing out. Too much time fucking around with the cables. I shouldn't be fucking around with. Okay. Yeah. Well, something got unplugged. We're good. Holy crap. Oh, you did share on Facebook? Oh, nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's a legitimate e-commerce marketplace that connects third-party sellers to consumers. However, there are several reported incidents of sellers scamming buyers by sending counterfeit products. Yes, I'm assuming you're talking about AliExpress. Risky, maybe? Yeah, I agree. It's risky. AliExpress is risky. You'd have to check their the seller reviews, and I would only buy from somebody that has a substantial amount of positive reviews. Ben, so the gold Thermalright cooler had a screen problem? Yes, Tat, it did. It does, currently. I have to, it's the connection, the USB connection to the screen. Anytime he like bumps the desk hard enough, the screen will go out, and he just has to go in and wiggle the connection and it comes right back on. So it's the connection from the USB-C port to the screen. Unfortunately, it seems like we have one with a loose connection. This cooler was $120 or $110 or something like that. You can get it on Amazon. I would say that the cable management in this particular case was a pain in the ass for this cooler, but that's because the ceiling is a little bit lower and it kind of scoots the cooler down a little bit, and you can't really get up in there where you should be able to in most other cases. So that was a little bit of a nightmare, but outside of that, a great cooler so far. I have to put the stick of RAM that I took out back in. Okay, so next, what do we have to do? Graphics card? Let's do that. Again, it is a RTX 3070 that we're putting in here with the 5700X 3D and the 32 gig. very solid card. But now I have tons of my fingerprints all over this shiny plastic. Touch the card one too many times. Alright, so last, for this side, is our GPU cables that we're going to be putting in here. Which are two PCIe 8 pins. And we'll cable comb these as well. Make them look all nice and neat. I like the color fade on that GPU. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It also will light up too. That color fade lights up. Has RGB on it. Controllable through the Spectra RGB software from Zotac, which is the Firestorm software. I'm gonna think about that one for a minute. Oh, come on. Okay. Got the cables plugged in. So now, let's get our cable combs on there. Comb it up. Please hold. This will take a minute. I don't know what I did here. Apparently I'm blind. what's the name on that cooler? So this is the Thermalright Grand Vision 360 ARGB black. You can find it on Amazon. Like $120-ish, 110. Depending on the day. Okay, there we go. We got our cables in here. Now all we gotta do is put a power supply in. We did install 2 additional fans down here, so we need to make sure that these get plugged in as well. Switch. Today we're going to be using a 750 watt 80 plus gold by Power Spec, which is a Micro Center brand if you're not familiar with that. I got it, thanks. Yeah, no problem. Yes, it's like 127, not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. Software needs a little bit of work, but outside of that, pretty good cooler. Hey Tony, good night. Awesome stream, have a good night. You too, sir, have a good night. Sorry, I didn't see that earlier. I did send you my 2 likes, one from YouTube and Facebook too. I appreciate you, Tony. Thank you. Thank you for the time. And thanks for hanging out. Thanks, Tap, for covering that. I've been focused trying to get this build done. Alright, what came undone? Something came undone. This has got to be the most screwed up I've had to deal with in a while. I'm gonna come back through this another time. I'm just getting frustrated here. This is one of my favorite cases. Yeah. No man gets frustrated with it. And these fucking this keeps happening to me too. I got a whole bag of effed up zip ties right now. Just gonna throw the whole damn bag away. There we go again. Broken. That one's good. There's probably 18 RGB cables in here that are just unplugged from screwing around with these cables for so long. So we're probably gonna have to open it back up and fix those like 18 times. Okay. Very uncooperative cables tonight. Very uncooperative cables. I'm not even done here. I'm just done dicking around with it on the stream. I'm gonna come back through here and clean this up. I'm just getting frustrated, so there's no point in me keep going at it. Just every time I touch something, something gets unplugged and it looks like garbage. This is not the final product of the cable management on the backside. But it's all I'm going to get to tonight, because I ain't going a step further tonight on this. And it's an inventory build, so I can take my time. Again, this was open box case. There's like 18,000 fingerprints on this, not including mine. You would. And then, of course, I don't know what to do with that. I'm so done with that. Alright. Well, let's see what it looks like. We have to pretend that the cable management's done, so pretend. I don't want to hear anything about it. Where's my damn keyboard? There it is. Okay. Put a lid on it. Yeah. That's what we did. Put a lid on it. Called it a night. Maybe next time. Alright, who wants to see this thing powered up? Let me know when you guys are ready for me to power this sucker on. Where did I put my soda? Let's go, lock in, ready. Alright, here we go. 3, 2, please turn on. 1. I only notice the cables when the lid is off. Good point. Oh, Rob, welcome back to the build show, sir, by the way. Woohoo! The even bigger woohoo is that it posted. Oh, there's that thermal right screen kicking in. Shiny. We have a post. Zotac makes some flashy cards. Yeah, it's pretty flashy. It's a flashy card. It's got some RGB on it. Damn, that GPU is so ARGB. What's that? It is a Zotac RTX 3070, and I'm trying to remember the exact name of this particular one, and my brain can't think of it. Hold on a second. I'll go look it up. Aha! I remembered on my way over. It is a Amp Extreme. Amp Extreme. Zotac RTX 3070 Amp Extreme. Ah. Sick lights on that GPU as well, yeah. You can control the RGB through the Zotac Firestorm software. That is the only place that you can control it. I don't even think it has a synchronization option, which is unfortunate. I wish they would have added that, because that would have been really cool to sync it to the rest of the ARGB. Amp Extreme, yes. I remembered on my way over. I was walking, I'm like, duh! I'm just getting old, you know? I just can't remember everything anymore. I have to go reference things now. And I wear glasses too, that's even sadder. I used to have 20/20 vision. I never wore glasses or I never wore anything. Now when I'm looking at the phone, squinting, trying to read something, I just can't. So I had to get glasses. Too much screen time, I guess. But I don't really care. I'll wear glasses. Doesn't bother me. Yeah, this thing turned out pretty cool looking. I mean, I knew it was going to look pretty cool, but damn. Got a little bit of a sag on the card. So I might go back in and add a bracket, even though it's not that big of a card. It's a heavy card, but not that big of a card. So I might go back in and add one of those discrete brackets as well. Getting old as hell, thanks, yeah. Getting old sucks. You get introduced to all sorts of wonderful things that you never thought of when you were younger. You're like, this would never be a thing. I'm invincible. I can lift a car. I did lift a car at one point. I don't know if Alex is still in here, but he's got a story for that. Yeah, it looks good. I'm pretty happy with it. What do you guys think the price point should be on a build like this once the cable management is done and the GPU brackets in, Windows installed? It's an RTX 5700X 3D, RTX 3070, 32 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte M.2 NVMe SSD, a B550 Tomahawk Wi-Fi motherboard, the liquid cooler with the screen, and a 750 watt 80 plus gold power supply with some sleeved cables thrown in there to spruce it up. 1K, 1200. Yeah, I was thinking around there too. I was thinking more like 13, but so I have to factor in the time, the warranty, the support. I was thinking more like 13-ish. $1 million, according to some giant idiot over on Twitch. I'd agree with you, and somebody probably would buy it. If I had a SAG bracket, 1300, I will put a bracket in there, don't worry. $1 million. Eventually, the channel will grow to the point where we can just build free PCs, right? At least free labor. The channel will do all the all the work for that, right? At least that's the idea. Then we could be Robin Hood of the PC building industry. Steal from the rich and give to the poor. Thank you, good sir. Thank you very much. There's an iPad for CL for $12,000. Holy crap. On Craigslist for $12,000? There must be something really important on it, or it's like grandfathered into a Verizon unlimited plan or something. That would be my guess. Not going to go anywhere with... Nope, not going there. I promise I'd keep that out. Hey, what's up, Ghost? $11.99. Welcome to the build show, sir. We were actually just wrapping up build number 17. I'm just going to hang out here for a little bit. I don't want it. Yeah, I don't want it either. Probably has Flappy Bird on it. Oh yeah, I remember that shit. Oh my gosh. People were selling phones with Flappy Bird on it for such a stupid, insane price. I had Flappy Bird on my phone, but I wasn't going to give that shit up. I think I still have the phone with Flappy Bird on it somewhere in a drawer. Because that's, you know, what do you do with your old phones if you don't, like, return it or resell it? You put it in a drawer, right? Everybody has the old phone drawer now, or the old phone box. Everybody's got one. Level Up sent you. Well, come on over. I think I responded to one of your questions, or somebody had a question from Level Up, and I was saying just go ahead and email me or shoot me a message or whatever, we can get connected and take a look at the problems. My friend told me once, nice monitor light bar to buy. I have 23-inch LG. I would take a look at Groove or Govee, Goove on Amazon. They have some really cool RGB lights that work really well for a good price. And it's pretty quality stuff, so I don't know if it's available over there. That was you? Well, what's going on, man? What can I help you with? You caught me live in action. People sold Flappy Bird iPhones for extra when Apple took it off the market. Yeah, I know. Apple... I thought Google Play took it off the market as well. Or did it come back? I can't remember. But it was such an addictive game for everybody, and everybody was raving about it, and then they took it away because there was... I can't even remember the reason why they took it down. Like, it's crazy how an app can... It's like TikTok all over again. Which I meant to try to use a VPN to see if you could still get back on TikTok, and then I was going to post a video on how to do workaround. Would have been cool. Should I buy a 4060 8GB or a 3060 12GB? You should almost just... What card do you have right now, Ghost? They removed it because people were breaking their phones over it. Now, kids, if you don't stop, we're going to take it away, okay? Ah, dag nabbit, I told you. We're taking it away. Imagine walking into a store saying, yeah, my phone broke and I have insurance, get it replaced, and they find out it was because of Flappy Bird. You kids, we're gonna take it away if you don't stop. Because Apple has the power to do that. Screw Apple. 100% truth, though. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got a 1660? Ah, yeah. That's rough with the 6 gigs of VRAM. So, I would definitely just go up to the 4060 but if you want something more affordable, the 3060 12 gig will do it. But if you could wait until the 5000 series drops and you want an NVIDIA card, you can probably find a 5060 towards the middle slash endish of the year, 2025. It'll probably be out, like an RTX 5060 or 5060 Ti. Oh, 5060 in 2 months? I thought it was going to be more in like second quarter. Maybe that is 2 months from now. That is 2 months from now. Yeah, never mind. 2 months from now, RTX 5060. If you can hang on for 2 more months, you can get the best 60 series card that'll be released, or at least the newest, and it'll have support for DLSS 4.0 versus 3.0 on the 4060 and limited DLSS on the 3060. So the better bang for your buck is going to be the 5060 in 2 months. But if you need it now, go for the RTX 3060 because it's cheaper, and that'll give you a pretty substantial upgrade from the 1660. And then when the 5060 comes out, sell your 3060 and go get the 5060. Yeah, it's still going to be an 8 gigabyte card. It's retarded. A suggestion, though, is if you're not going for the ray tracing, look at the Intel B580 Battlemage card. The Intel Arc B580. That is a really decent card. All right, Ben, gonna have a good night. Yeah, all right, man, Tat. Have a good night, man. Go watch some Doctor Who. But the fake frames, I know. The fake frames make it good. But all right, guys, that is my advice for the night. That is the build for the night. I will add the support bracket and I will do the cable management another time. I am just done with building right now. This PC and I have a pretty interesting relationship already. Yes, good night, guys. We're going to call it here. Have a good night. We'll see you on the next build stream. I'm going to try to squeeze a stream in tomorrow. The Thursday, I'm actually going to be out of town Thursday night, so I won't be able to stream until Tuesday next week. So tomorrow will likely be the only other stream that I have for the week. It will be, because Thursday I can't. Friday I'm out of town. Thursday night I'm out of town. Friday night I'm out of town until I fly back in on Monday. So I'll be out of town through the weekend. So Wednesday, tomorrow, is going to be the last stream for a few days. So we'll see you again tomorrow night, guys. Good night. Have a good evening. Bye. Have a good night. Don't have nightmares about cable med. I'll try to avoid that. I'll take a couple shots of whiskey before I go to bed. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe it should be tequila. No, definitely not tequila. Have a good night, guys.